Hey friend, I've got a question for you. Have you ever felt completely burnt out, like you're barely holding it together? I've experienced that recently. And if I'm being honest with you, this isn't the first time that I have been here. Life got really overwhelming and I felt like I was running on empty. It felt like I was doing everything for everyone else and nothing to take care of myself. And that's when I realized that something had to change. So I decided to create three non-negotiables, three habits that I would commit to no matter what. And these aren't just like good ideas or setting a good intention. These are things that I decided I will show up for every single day, no matter what, no matter how inconvenient, no matter how hard they may be, I commit to showing up. Guess what? They have transformed my day to day. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my three non-negotiables, why they were so powerful, and how you can maybe implement these non-negotiables into your day to day. And I hope by the end of this video that you feel inspired to create your own non-negotiables to show up for yourself in a way that matters. So stick around to the end because you never know. These three things might be the game changer that you've been praying for. All right, let's get right into it. My first non-negotiable right off the top for me was Bible study. When I don't spend time in the Word every single day, I can feel it. I am irritable. I get impatient. I am rushing through things. And I just don't feel like I show up as myself. So that was non-negotiable for me. So I know that when I started reading the Bible, I felt like I wasn't necessarily getting all out of it that I knew that I could. So one thing that was a game changer for me was doing Bible studies. So I invested in these Bible studies, and I'll post a link in the comments. They're called Beautiful Word Bible Series. And when you do these Bible studies, you get a link to a code. And that code takes you to a website that has videos for every single chapter of the Bible study. The Bible study for the chapters and verses that you will read every day. I think you commit to around 3 days a week, which everybody can do, but I really take my time with it. And I am able to really dive into the Word. And because I'm by myself, I am able to explore and just get a better understanding of the Word and deepen my relatability to the scriptures that I'm reading because the questions they prompt me to dig deeper. That's number one. Number two is I invested in a study Bible. The study Bibles are just game changing as well. So rather than just reading the Word, I feel like we all have our preferred versions, NLT, NIV, New King James, whatever your preference is, fantastic. But what these Bible study Bibles do is they break down not every, but almost every single scripture. So it really helps if you're reading something and it just feels like another verse that doesn't mean anything, that you can go to the bottom of the page and get a better explanation of what a single verse actually means in the context of history, the context of what was happening in the story, the context of who the people are in that verse, what it means, different meanings. Sometimes verses in the Bible, they get lost in translation because they weren't originally written in English. So having that Bible study, honestly, the Bible study Bible has been game changing for me. And I'll include a link to the one that I use and love and refer people to all the time. And lastly, there are times like at 11 o'clock at night where I realized, I didn't do my Bible study. And rather than feeling guilty about it, I rely on my phone. So I will open the Bible app and I will go through the verse of the day. That's a great app. I love the Bible app. Or I will pull up some scriptures that are my go-tos and I will read them and I will meditate on them. And speaking of meditation, another tool that I use for my Bible study is also the Abide app. So what the Abide app is it is a meditation app for Christians. And it takes Bible studies, it takes verses, and it creates them into different meditations with different times. Like you could do a 5-minute one, you could do a 30-minute one on all kinds of different topics. And they even have sleep meditations. So if I've missed my Bible study for the day, I can put on an Abide sleep meditation and go to sleep hearing the word. So it permeates in me. So the key is just to start somewhere. Even if it's just one verse a day, I encourage you to start. Okay, non-negotiable number 2 for me was vitamins. This might seem really simple, but just hear me out. Taking vitamins was a daily reminder for me that my health matters. As I started to experience burnout and overwhelm, my anxiety heightened. And with my anxiety comes depression and sometimes paranoia, which leads for me panic attacks. And when I am not fueling myself with the right nutrients, it really impacts my mental health. So I take multivitamins. It's winter, so I live in Toronto, Canada, and we have a lot of gloomy, snowy days. So in the winter, I like to take my vitamin D. I take my multi-B vitamins, and I take a vitamin called GABA, which is a neurotransmitter that helps. I'm trying to regulate my central nervous system right now. So taking all of these vitamins for me is just, it's an act of self-care. It's a way to every day say, Kathy, you are worth taking care of. It's not about perfection. It's just about consistency. Do I miss a day or two? Yes, I do. And I make sure the next day, the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is I take my vitamins. So what's one small thing that maybe you can commit to that you decide is non-negotiable to take care of your health? Maybe it's vitamins, maybe it's drinking more water, maybe it's just making healthier food choices. But the point is to start small and build the momentum, which is exactly what I'm doing here with just getting into the habit of taking my vitamins every single day. Okay, non-negotiable number 3 became movement. I have an office job and I get stuck at my desk, sometimes literally no joke, for 8 to 10 hours a day. And so I just found over time, I wasn't getting my 10,000 steps a day in. There were days where I was barely moving, not getting at least 12 hours of standing hours while I'm awake. And for me, one really amazing tool that helps me every single day, it's my iWatch. So I use the fitness app and I set my goals for how many hours I want to stand, what are my movement goals, and my exercise goal. And one thing that's become non-negotiable for me has become my 10,000 steps a day and my 30 minutes of exercise. And let me tell you, there have been nights where I have laid down to go to sleep at like 10 after 11 and I check my rings and I don't have my exercise ring. And very, very reluctantly, I will get up and I will go to, I have a little treadmill, a walking pad that I have at my desk. I turn on my walking pad and I will walk, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is that I am missing, I will do it because I am committed that this is non-negotiable. It's not an option. And I got to take care of myself. So that's what non-negotiable looks like. It looks like me getting on a walking pad at 20 after 11 at night. Non-negotiable isn't about making excuses why you can't do something. It's about finding ways to make it happen. It's about showing up for yourself spiritually, physically, emotionally, no matter what, no matter how hard it feels. These 3 simple habits of Bible study, vitamins, and movement are my way of prioritizing what matters most so that I can be who God created me to be as a wife, as a mother, as a sister, as a daughter, as a manager. These are ways that how I remind myself that I'm worth the effort, and so are you. So friend, honestly, you don't have to stay stuck in burnout and overwhelm. It happens to all of us. You don't have to keep putting yourself last. Let's start with one small change today. Choose one non-negotiable and show up for yourself. And throw perfectionism out the window. Perfectionism doesn't even exist. It's not about doing perfect. It's about doing it consistently and getting better at it, because that's where the transformation happens. When you give yourself the grace of, oh, you might miss something one day, but saying, I am so committed that I will start it back up tomorrow. Give yourself that grace. Thank you so much for staying and watching. And if this inspired you, please let me know in the comments, and let me know what's one thing that you can make non-negotiable in your day, because I would love the opportunity to cheer you on. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with somebody who might need it. Stay encouraged, friend.